Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a desert so hostile that even the scorpions have given up. The sun doesn't just beat down, it hammers you into the ground like a nail. And somewhere out there, watching through alien technology that can see your heartbeat from a mile away, is something that's been hunting since before your civilization learned to make fire. But here's the twist that'll mess with your head. What if the monster became the hero? Welcome to the Badlands, where everything you thought you knew about the predator is about to get flipped upside down.
We open on a landscape that looks like God started making Earth and just gave up. The Badlands stretch out in every direction, cracked earth, twisted rock formations, and a heat shimmer that makes reality itself look uncertain. There's a research facility out here, and you have to wonder what kind of desperate need for secrecy puts a base in a place where water evaporates before it hits the ground. Inside this facility, Dr. Ella Reeves is doing what scientists do best, messing with things that should probably be left alone. She's studying atmospheric anomalies, strange readings that suggest something's been disturbing the fabric of space itself. Her team's been out here for 6 months, and the isolation is starting to show. People get snappy, jokes get darker, and everyone's counting down the days until extraction. But Ella's noticed something the others haven't. The readings aren't random, they follow a pattern. Something's been visiting this region repeatedly, like a predator returning to familiar hunting grounds. Then, the first body turns up. It's Martinez, one of the facility's security detail. Except body is being generous. What's left of him is scattered across a 30-foot radius, and there's a precision to the carnage that suggests this wasn't rage, it was art. The skin's been taken with surgical accuracy. The skull's been split open with something that definitely wasn't a knife. The facility goes into lockdown. Commander Harris, the hard-bitten military liaison, starts barking orders about defensive perimeters and weapon distribution. But here's what's terrifying. Harris has seen combat in 4 different war zones, and you can see something in his eyes that wasn't there before. Fear. Because he's seen these wounds before. In classified reports, in redacted files, in stories that officially never happened. The predator has come to the Badlands. Night falls, and the desert transforms into something even more alien. The temperature drops 40 degrees in an hour. The stars come out so bright and numerous that they look fake. And somewhere out there in that infinite darkness, something is moving. The facility's motion sensors start going haywire. Not one blip, dozens, surrounding them. But when Harris sends drones out to investigate, the cameras show nothing but empty desert. Whatever's out there knows how to stay invisible. Then the power cuts. Emergency lights flicker on, bathing everything in that sickly red glow that tells you survival is no longer guaranteed. Ella's in the research lab when she hears it, that clicking sound. Not mechanical, organic, like bones snapping in a rhythm that's almost language. She turns slowly, and that's when she sees it for the first time. Not the predator itself, but its outline. The air shimmers wrong, like heat distortion, except the room's cool. She watches, paralyzed, as this invisible thing moves through the lab, examining equipment with a curiosity that's somehow more disturbing than aggression. It pauses in front of her research, the atmospheric data, the pattern analysis, and then it does something that'll change everything. It reaches out with a clawed hand and manipulates the computer interface. The creature is studying her work. What follows is a masterclass in tension. The facility becomes a maze of dark corridors and flickering lights, and Harris's security team starts getting picked off one by one. But these aren't random kills. There's intelligence behind each elimination. The predator takes the marksman first, removing their long-range advantage, then the demolitions expert, eliminating the heavy firepower. It's not just hunting, it's dismantling their defenses piece by piece. Ella and a handful of survivors barricade themselves in the facility's reinforced communication center. Among them, Harris, whose military bravado is cracking, Dr. Yoshi Nakamura, a quantum physicist who keeps muttering calculations under his breath, and Sam Torres, a young engineer whose hands won't stop shaking. They've got enough ammunition to hold out for maybe an hour, maybe. The extraction team won't arrive for 3 days. But then Yoshi says something that makes everyone stop. What if it's not hunting us? What if it's trying to communicate? Everyone looks at him like he's lost his mind. But Ella remembers how the predator examined her research, how it didn't kill her when it had the chance, how the pattern of attacks suggests strategy? Purpose? Against Harris's protests, Ella makes a decision that's either brilliant or suicidal. She steps outside the barricade, alone, unarmed, and she starts talking. She talks about her research, about the atmospheric anomalies, about how the reading suggests something was trying to breach the dimensional barrier between worlds, how this place, these Badlands, might be a thin point in reality itself. The air in front of her shimmers. The predator decloaks. And here's where this movie does something genuinely unexpected. We've spent 40 years watching predators as alien hunters, ultimate killing machines. But as this creature stands before Ella, mandibles clicking in that complex language, she realizes something profound. This predator is stranded, wounded, its ship damaged beyond repair. And it's not just hunting for sport, it's fighting for survival. But there's more. Through a combination of gestured communication and Yoshi's translation of the clicking sounds through pattern recognition software, they piece together a terrifying truth. The atmospheric anomalies weren't caused by this predator's arrival. Something else is coming. Something bigger. The facility's sensors suddenly explode with activity. The sky literally tears open, a rift in space that looks like reality's been slashed with a knife. And through that wound in the world, they come. Not predators, something worse. These creatures are biomechanical nightmares, insectoid and massive, dripping with technology that seems grown rather than built. They move in swarms, their shrieks harmonizing into a sound that makes your bones vibrate wrong. And they're not here for specimens or study. They're here to cleanse. The lone predator looks up at the incoming swarm, and even without facial expressions, you can read its body language. Determination mixed with resignation. This is its war. Has been for a long time. What happens next is one of the most visually stunning sequences in action cinema. The predator arms itself, not just with its traditional weaponry, but with improvised devices built from facility equipment. It's been preparing for this, adapting, creating. Harris watches this alien warrior jury-rig a plasma cannon from a generator and spare parts, and something shifts in his understanding. This isn't a mindless killer. This is a soldier, and right now, they're on the same side. We help it, or we all die. Harris looks at the swarm approaching through the rift, does his own math, and starts issuing orders. The survivors split up. Yoshi and Sam work on amplifying the facility's power grid. Ella translates strategy with the predator through increasingly complex hand signals, and Harris coordinates what's left of his security team. The Badlands are about to become a battlefield. The swarm hits like a tsunami. They don't just attack, they consume. Metal, stone, flesh, everything gets broken down and absorbed into their biomass. The facility's outer walls dissolve within minutes. But the defense isn't trying to hold the walls. The predator's strategy is more sophisticated. Create kill zones, funnel the swarm into concentrated areas, then hit them with everything. We watch Harris and the predator fighting side by side, covering each other's blind spots with the kind of coordination that transcends language. There's a moment where Harris is pinned down, 3 of the creatures closing in, and the predator leaps over him, extending its wrist blades midair, and the resulting carnage is balletic and brutal in equal measure. Ella runs between battle zones, coordinating the technical team while dragging wounded survivors to safety. She's terrified but functional, and there's something heroic about watching a scientist refuse to be a victim. The swarm keeps coming. For every 10 they kill, 20 more pour through the rift. Yoshi's voice crackles over the comms. The power grid is at maximum, but if we overload it, channel everything into a single pulse, we might be able to destabilize the rift. The predator's head snaps toward Ella. They lock eyes, human and alien, and somehow understanding passes between them. How long until overload? Ella asks.
90 seconds, but we need to keep them away from the generator or the cascade will detonate early, and if that happens, he doesn't finish. He doesn't need to. Early detonation means vaporization for anything within a quarter mile. What comes next is emotional in a way these films have never been before. The Predator doesn't just understand the plan, it volunteers. It starts moving toward the generator, drawing the swarm away from the survivors, becoming a one-creature distraction. Harris realizes what's happening. No, we can set up automated defenses, buy you time to... But the Predator shakes its massive head. It knows the math too. Someone has to hold them back manually, adapting to their swarm tactics in real time. And there's only one warrior here capable of that. Ella feels tears cutting tracks through the dust on her face. This creature that she feared, that killed her colleagues, is choosing to die so humanity can live. The Predator pauses before heading out. It reaches into a compartment on its armor and removes something small, a data crystal pulsing with stored information. It presses this into Ella's hand and clicks a phrase that their translation software renders as learn, survive, honor the hunt. Then it's gone, charging into the swarm with a roar that's half battle cry, half farewell. The Predator becomes a whirlwind of controlled violence. Every weapon, every piece of alien technology, everything it's learned about these creatures over what must be decades of warfare, all of it channeled into these final 90 seconds. Its plasma caster fires until the energy cell cracks. It switches to wrist blades, moving through the swarm like a blender. When those break, it uses its bare hands, crushing and tearing with strength that seems impossible. The survivors watch on security monitors, and there's something mythic about it. This isn't just combat, it's a warrior choosing how their story ends. The counter hits 0. Yoshi triggers the overload. The generator doesn't just explode, it pulses, sending a wave of electromagnetic energy outward in a perfect sphere. Where it touches the swarm, they simply stop. Circuitry fries, biomechanical systems shut down. They drop from the sky like puppets with cut strings. The wave reaches the rift, and space-time itself seems to scream. The tear in reality convulses, shrinks, and seals with a thunderclap that shatters every window in the facility. When the dust clears and the emergency systems reboot, they search the scorch zone around the generator. They find the Predator's mask, cracked but intact. Its armor, scattered in pieces, but no body. Whether it was disintegrated in the blast or somehow escaped at the last moment, they'll never know. 3 weeks later, the Badlands facility is swarming with government officials, military intelligence, and scientists in hazmat suits. The whole area has been declared a level 5 containment zone. Official story? Gas explosion. Ella is being debriefed for the 14th time, and she's sticking to the script. But she has the data crystal hidden in her quarters, and late at night she studies its contents. It's a database, Predator history, technology, warnings about threats humanity hasn't even imagined yet, and a message translated by their AI. You fought with honor. You are marked as allies. She doesn't know what that means, but she suspects humanity will find out. Harris, meanwhile, is in a classified Pentagon meeting room, arguing with generals who want to weaponize everything they learned. These things saved our lives, he growls. They're not our enemies. They're not our friends either. They're tools, resources. Harris thinks about fighting beside that warrior, about respect earned in blood, and wonders if humanity deserves allies at all. The movie ends where it began, the Badlands, silent and empty under an indifferent sun. But the camera pans across the desert floor and finds something. Tracks. Massive clawed prints in the dust, leading away from the facility, leading deeper into the wasteland. The air shimmers just for a moment, and then nothing. But we know, somewhere out there in the infinite desert, in the places humans don't go and satellites can't see, something survived. The Predator endures. And if those creatures, that swarm, ever come back, humanity now has an ally. Somewhere. The screen cuts to black on one final message. The hunt never ends, but sometimes you choose your prey, and sometimes you choose your pack. So, what's this movie really about?
On the surface, it's a kick-ass action film with a genre-bending twist, but dig deeper and it's asking something more profound. What makes a monster? Is it the predator, following its cultural code of honor, choosing sacrifice over survival? Or is it humanity, already scheming about how to exploit and weaponize everything they learned? The beauty of Predator Badlands is that it takes a franchise built on alien hunts humans and asks, but what if we've been looking at this wrong the whole time? What if the predators aren't the apex predators? What if they're warriors in a larger conflict and we're just now getting an invitation to understand? This film respects its legacy while bulldozing expectations. It gives us a predator with depth, with motivation, with the capacity for alliance. And it suggests that maybe, just maybe, humanity's biggest threat isn't the monsters we fight, it's what we choose to become after we've won. Sweet dreams, everyone, and the next time you're alone in the desert at night, remember, you might not be as alone as you think, and that shimmer in the air could be heat distortion, could be something else entirely.